Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Research Area Series episode. As always, it's Sunday. Last Sunday, I couldn't upload a video, but this Sunday, I'm here with another topic: children's studies in English literature. It focuses on how literature represents children, childhood, and the developmental, social, and cultural roles of children within texts. It explores themes like innocence, education, moral development, identity formation, and the societal expectations placed on children. So, this field is interdisciplinary, blending literary analysis with psychology, sociology, education, and cultural studies to examine the unique ways children's lives and perspectives are portrayed in literature. So let's see the key terms in children's studies within English literature. First one is innocence and experience. The contrast between childhood innocence and the inevitable transition to adulthood is a recurrent theme. For example, The Catcher in the Rye by J.D. Salinger focuses on Holden Caulfield's desire to preserve childhood innocence in a world full of corruption and complexity. Second theme is education and learning. Education is central to many works of children's literature, whether in terms of formal schooling or the life lessons children learn through their experiences. For example, Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling revolves around the magical education of children alongside themes of friendship, identity, and morality. Third theme is identity and self-discovery. Many literary works explore the journey of self discovery that children undergo, particularly in relation to the questions of identity, belonging, and independence. Anne of Green Gables by L.M. Montgomery follows the orphan Anne as she discovers her identity and finds a place where she belongs. Fourth theme is imagination and fantasy. Children's literature often uses imagination and fantasy worlds as a way for children to explore their inner lives and grapple with real world problems. For example, Alice Adventures in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll uses a whimsical, fantastical world to explore themes of logic, nonsense, and growing up. Fifth theme is moral and ethical lessons. Children's literature has historically been used to impart moral lessons, instilling values such as kindness, honesty, and courage. However, modern works also critique overly didactic approaches to morality. For example, The Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis incorporates Christian allegories and moral lessons within an adventurous fantasy setting. Next theme is power and autonomy. Children's literature often explores the power dynamics between children and adults, as well as children's quest for autonomy and control over their lives. For example, Matilda by Roald Dahl portrays a young girl who uses her extraordinary intelligence to challenge oppressive adult figures and gain independence. Next topic is family and relationships. The role of family, both biological and chosen, is a central theme, with stories often focusing on how children navigate their relationship with parents, siblings, and caregivers. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee examines childhood through the lens of Scout Finch's relationship with her father and the larger social justice issues in their community. Next theme is trauma and resilience. Some children's literature explores difficult themes such as loss, trauma, and resilience, showing how young characters face and overcome adversity. For example, The Boy in the Striped Pyjamas by John Boyne tells a story of a friendship between two boys on opposite sides of the Holocaust, confronting themes of innocence, ignorance, and the horrors of war. Next theme is gender and social roles. Gender roles and expectations are often critiqued or reinforced in children's literature. Some works question traditional gender norms while others uphold them. For example, Little Women by Lucia May Alcott portrays the lives of four sisters as they navigate societal expectations and gender roles in the 19th century. Next topic is adventure and exploration. Adventure and exploration are common in children's literature, with young characters embarking on journeys that test their courage, resourcefulness, and ability to overcome obstacles. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain follows a young boy's mischievous adventures and his growth through moral dilemmas and personal experiences. So that was all about the key terms in children's literature within children's studies within English literature. Yes, and some of other important works and authors in children's studies are Peter Pan by J.M. Barrie. Then another one is Adventures of Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain, and Coraline by Neil Gaiman. So, what are the critical approaches that can be done in children's literature? Psychoanalytic theory, educational and pedagogical approaches, gender and queer theory, cultural studies, post-colonial theory, developmental psychology. Next, we are going to see the notable scholars and theorists related to children's studies: Jacqueline Rose, Maria Tatar, Perry Nodelman, and Mara Gubar. Okay, next we are moving on to the key terms related with the children's studies. Yes. Bildungsroman, childhood innocence, pedagogy, fantasy and imagination, children's agency, socialization, morality, fairy tales, censorship, didacticism, identity formation, cultural representation, gender and stereotypes, orality, adventure and exploration, trauma and healing, empowerment, child-parent relationship, play and creativity, heroism, multiculturalism, and environmental awareness. Now we are moving on to the very important and serious section of this episode, that is the research topics, possible research topics for PhD thesis related to children's studies. The first one is the role of fairy tales in constructing childhood morality. Study how the moral lessons imparted by classic fairy tales and how they shape a child's understanding of right and wrong. Next is gender representation in contemporary children's literature. Explore how modern children's books address gender roles and depiction of non-conforming gender identities. Next is trauma and recovery in post-war children's literature. Analyze how post-war children's literature deals with trauma and recovery process, focusing on the psychological impact of young readers. Fourth topic is the role of adventure in the psychological development of children. Examine how themes of adventure and exploration in children's literature contribute to a child's emotional and cognitive growth. Fifth topic is cultural representation and identity formation in multicultural children's literature. Here you have to study how multicultural children's books help young readers form their own cultural and ethnic identities. Next topic is children as agents of social change in literature. Here you have to investigate how child protagonists in literature act as catalysts for social change, challenging societal norms and expectations. Seventh topic is fantasy worlds and childhood imagination in the world of J.K. Rowling and C.S. Lewis. Explore the role of fantasy in nurturing childhood imagination and the impact of these imaginary worlds on young readers. Next topic is children's literature as a tool for environmental education. Analyze how children's literature promotes environmental awareness and ecological consciousness among young readers. Next topic is portrayal of child heroes in contemporary young adult fiction. Study how the concept of heroism is portrayed through child and adolescent protagonists in modern young adult fiction. Next topic is censorship in children's literature, a comparative study. So, examine the history and the rationale behind censorship in children's literature and its effects on children's reading experiences. 11th topic is Bildungsroman in children's literature, growth, identity, and society. Here you have to focus on how the coming of age genre helps children navigate issues of identity, society, and personal development. Next topic is the role of illustrations in enhancing storytelling in picture books. Study how illustrations in children's picture books contribute to narrative comprehension and emotional engagement. Next topic is the influence of colonial narratives in the 19th century British children's literature. Explore how colonial themes and ideologies were embedded in children's literature of the 19th century and their impact on child readers. Next topic, childhood innocence and experience in Victorian children's literature. Analyze how the concepts of innocence and experience are portrayed and contrasted in Victorian era children's literature. Next is the child parent relationship in children's literature, power dynamics, and emotional growth. Investigate how the evolution of child parent relationships in children's literature, focusing on power, control, and emotional development. Next is play and creativity, the role of imaginative play in children's literature. Study how children's books encourage creativity and imaginative play and its developmental benefits. Next research topic is the role of didacticism in 18th century children's literature. Analyze the educational and moral objectives of early children's literature in the 18th century, focusing on its didactic elements. Next topic is oral narratives and preservation of folklore in children's literature. Explore how oral traditions and folklore are adapted into children's literature, preserving cultural stories and values. Next topic is the concept of home and belonging in migrant children's literature. Study how migrant children's literature addresses themes of displacement, home, and belonging in a globalized world. And the last topic is literature for the young and the digital age, children's engagement with e-books. Analyze how the digitalization of children's literature through e-books and apps affect their reading habits and engagement with stories. So I know the video is a bit long, but it's a research, right? It's a long process, so the video also will be long. You can research more and come up with new ideas and topics. So that's all for today. Bye.